I had another experience kind of shortly after that where we were getting ready to baptize this young girl who she was, I think, 16, so not young, but this girl. And she was awesome, but she always like challenged us as missionaries. She would bring questions, right? And she kind of had a hard experience because part of her family had been baptized at one time, and the other part of her family wasn't ready to be baptized, and she was kind of stuck in the middle, right? She felt like she wanted to be baptized, but she also didn't want to leave that other part of her family and make them feel like she was deserting them or leaving them type thing. And so we had a lot of talks and discussions with her, and finally she got to the point like, I'm ready. And so we start looking for where we're going to do the baptism. We had one church in the town where we usually did most of the baptisms, but it had a leak in the ceiling, and so they were doing some repairs in the building, so it was closed. But they told us, no, it's okay, we'll have it fixed by the time you're ready to do the baptism. We're like, okay. And then later on, we call them back, and they're like, well, or they call us back, and they're like, well, actually, the leak caused there to be mold. And so we're like, oh, okay. And let me back up here for a second. The 16-year-old who were preparing to be baptized, she had specifically asked if she could be baptized in the river. And we had called our mission president and asked him, and he said, no, you can't do it in the river. And so we were like, oh man, yeah. And so we went back and told her, sorry, we have to do it in a baptismal font because that's what they're for, and we're supposed to use them. And told her what our mission president said, and she was like, oh, okay. Like, but we could tell she was kind of sad about it. Anyways, back to the church, right? So first there was a leak, then they had called and said there's mold, and we're like, oh no, right? But then they're like, no, we can fix it in time. We're like, oh, fine, okay, fine, you can fix it. And so then after that, and I've never heard of this happening ever before, but they called us back again. They're like, actually now there's fleas. We're like, fleas? Yeah, they're like, fleas. And so they was closed, and so we couldn't use it for the baptism because it was specifically in that area. So that's what they told us, we couldn't use it. And so eventually it got to the point where we were like, we're going to have to do this in a river. And so we got the approval, and we went down to the river, and that was a cool experience, like literally cool. Like I was freezing because we were in this river, right? Went out, and she was there, and she was all excited, but then she went under, and she was like shaking, right? Because of the spiritual experience and because she was freezing. And it was a cool experience to be there, and I have this really cool picture with like the sun shining down, and she's kind of like, she's flipping her hair like in the, and it's like the River Jordan, right? And it's just a cool experience. She wanted to be baptized like Jesus, and I guess Jesus wanted her to be baptized like Jesus. And so it was a cool experience, and one I'll never forget, to be able to baptize somebody in a river.